Hey guys, Matt Robinson here, founder of the Professional Investors Guild, and I just wanted to record a quick follow-up video to something that I recorded and posted a couple days ago when I was talking about competition. So I've had people in the past and even somebody recently who asked me if I felt like there was too much competition in the real estate investing world, that you couldn't break into it, you couldn't get into it, you couldn't do well because there was too much competition. And I can tell you that I vehemently am against the notion that there is too much competition, not only for this business or any business. As I explained in that video, if a business is profitable, if a business is viable, there is going to be competition, right? Competition is a core concept and a core principle of a market economy. Sometimes some of our greatest business stories have been competition. It's Burger King versus McDonald's, right? It's the cola wars of Pepsi versus Coke. It's the competition of, Ford versus Chevy. It's all of these. There's a ton of great competition. So I don't believe that that should ever be used as an excuse to either not get into a specific business or industry, or a reason to use for why you didn't succeed in a specific industry. I think any business, unless you invent something or you completely innovate something brand new, like an app or some kind of social media platform or something, self-driving cars or whatever, if you don't invent something, there is probably going to be competition in whatever business that you pursue. But let me say this, though there is competition, the question is, can you find ways to limit competition in a competitive environment? And the answer to that is yes. We talked, and again in that last video, there was a book out called Blue Ocean Strategies, and they talk about the difference between a red ocean and a blue ocean. And basically a red ocean is where there is a ton of competition, and they call it a red ocean because there's a bunch of sharks swimming around and there's blood in the water and everybody's going after a limited amount of customers in a specific industry. The blue ocean is where you innovate and you don't have to compete as much, or you're first to market. Well, real estate investing, while there has been innovation in the tools that we use, whether it be stuff on the internet or apps or different things that go on, the actual art or the actual business of buying a house, fixing it up and reselling it, or buying a house or a multifamily property and renting out, there hasn't been and there isn't a lot of innovation in that, right? It's a great business. It's a highly profitable business. It's generating, more millionaires than any other business. And because of that, it logically is going to have a ton of competition. But what we have to learn is, what we can grow in is by finding ways within a competitive environment to limit competition and find what they call a blue ocean within a red ocean. And basically the principle in that is finding what they call the riches. Guys, I hate cliches, but they say the riches are in the niches, right? And it is finding that place within your real estate investing strategy that is going to be unique, that is going to be different, right? That is going to be some way that you can set yourself apart instead of just being like everybody else. A lot of times wholesalers, everyone wants to wholesale and everybody mails out to abandoned properties or to out of area, vacant properties. Everybody can't be going after the exact same list. Otherwise, it's a red ocean. Otherwise, everybody's competing for the same deal. And so, yes, if you want to compete, you just get better. There's this great shirt that I've seen in the CrossFit world that says, "Nobody cares, get better," right? And so, yes, there is this mindset of I could just get better and do better. However, in the absence of yet improving your skill set to where you can compete with the big boys, you can carve out niches for yourself within the real estate investing business in order to have additional success. And I'm going to share with you 3 quick ways that you can kind of find some niches where you can have a little bit of success and limit the competition you may be facing in the real estate business. Number 1 is through your strategy, right? There are a bunch of different strategies of investing in real estate, and basically kind of that, the least, lowest barrier to entry and easiest way to get into investing is wholesaling. So that's why there's always a lot of people that go the wholesaling route. But there's also some small niches within wholesaling or strategies within flipping that aren't just wholesaling, right? So you can carve out a niche in the sense of maybe doing subject to and specifically focusing and targeting your marketing on how to do subject to or lease options. Back when I first got started in the real estate business, I did rehabs and wholesales, etc. But then when the market shifted and changed, I specifically found a niche in short sales, and nobody else wanted to do them. They thought they were too time consuming, and so I developed a system and made a ton of money within the niche of short sales. So within the strategy you pursue can be a niche in where you can actually make some money and limit the competition. The second way is basically by the type of property. So again, pretty much everybody that's wholesaling or trying to do real estate investing is trying to find those kind of workforce housing, lower to middle income type properties that all fit a certain criteria that they know they can wholesale. But if there's too much competition there, then find a niche outside of that you can do well with. There's a couple of investors within the PIG who are specifically targeting land and doing very well with it because they were finding too much competition, too much red ocean in just the basic housing. We've had a couple people who have targeted just mobile homes or mobile home parks and have done very well by becoming an expert in that niche and in that industry. We had one specific person who was doing, one of our members who was doing basically rehabs, but in that kind of upper, not necessarily luxury homes, but kind of in that upper income, 250 to 350,000 range, because he had the cash and the money to do that. And people who can do $100,000 rehab are a dime a dozen. So there's a ton of competition, massive red ocean going after those properties. But when you can find that niche, and again, not everybody can do the $350,000 rehab, but when he found that niche, he found there was a lot less competition there, and he's able to do those types of properties without having to fight over the deals at the bottom. The third way, again, number one is by strategy, number two is by the type of property, and then number three is by demographic. So, demographically, groups of people that might be more motivated in order to sell properties, but there isn't anybody that's specifically going after them. Just a couple of quick examples. There was one guy in our group who specifically went after the elderly, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way, but his marketing was towards those who were 65 and older. Why? He was a little bit older. He had just gone through the process of kind of helping his parents move into like assisted living and kind of dealing with all that. So he kind of had a heart for, he had a compassion for those that were going through kind of moving out of their home and the kids that were having to deal with elderly parents. And so he came to it with kind of different perspective and a way that he could empathize with those who were doing that. So that was the niche he had specifically chose. Another one would be like divorce, those that are going through a divorce. The reason why picking that niche is so important, it's not that you're going to be the only one going after divorcees, right? It's that you're now, because you specifically choose that niche, you're able to target your marketing and make your marketing pieces, right? There's three aspects to a marketing piece. It's the market, it's the method, and it's the message. And a lot of times our bulk wholesalers or the big dogs that are sending out a lot of stuff, they're sending out bulk pieces that are just saying, hey, I want to buy your house. Right? And so the message doesn't necessarily resonate as much as yours might when yours specifically says, hey, just went through a recent divorce, we can help. We've helped, 100 divorcees, settle their property disputes and sell the property and blah, 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 right? So you can see how when you choose that niche, target it, and then make sure that your marketing messages align with that, you're going to be able to compete in an already competitive environment. Again, creating a blue ocean where there is a red ocean. So anyway, a couple of tips for you guys to kind of take advantage of that. Limit competition within what is a competitive environment already. If you are brand new to the real estate investing world and you want to learn a little bit more about it, you can always go to nomoneydownprofits.com. We've got a course over there that is free for a limited time, which teaches you the basics, called the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to No Money Down Investing. So again, that's at nomoneydownprofits.com. You can always email me, text me, message, comment, share this, like it, all that good stuff. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on one of these videos. Have a great day.